What is up, everybody? It is JNL here with a WrestleMania 27 recap. Happened last night, and as a whole, the event was okay. The Taker match, of course, stole the show, which I knew it would. They kind of made the whole thing out to be that way, and it lived up to everything that I could have imagined, but we're going to talk about that later. Other than that, my coworker said it best. Where were the, ladders and tables and chairs and things? Yeah, where were the tables and ladders and chairs and things? The money in the bank. I understand that there's a Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And I understand that there's also a TLC pay-per-view. But you've got to do something about the lack of hardware at WrestleMania. I definitely missed it. And everyone that I talked to and everyone I saw it with, we all said the same thing. It lacked. The Money in the Bank match brings spontaneity and excitement, and just a bunch of young athletic guys who come up with really creative moves, and there's always those holy shit moments, and they lay their bodies on the line, and it's just, like I said, spontaneity. It's just a wow factor. The match is an explosion. Other than the Taker matches, it's like my favorite match. It always is. It always is. They open up with it. It's a great match. And it was missed. It was missed. Other than not having the wow factor, I thought a lot of those guys were underused. Okay, you had Swagger in the Cole match as the backup, as the trainer of Michael Cole. He interfered in the beginning before the match even started. He beat up on the King, and then at the end he tried to get involved, and he actually cost King the match on a technicality. Of course, Michael Cole would win on a technicality. He ended up getting the Stone Cold Stunner, but that was it. So Jack Swagger, underused. Anyway, Michael Cole got the match on a technicality because Stone Cold Steve Austin pushed Michael Cole into the ring, like kind of pushed him into the King's right hand. Got a right hand from the King. He barely pushed him, but he did. He pushed him into the King. King gave him a right hand. So the anonymous general manager reversed the decision and disqualified the King. So Michael Cole won at WrestleMania. Ridiculous. But Jack Swagger, underused. Also, the 4-on-4 match. You had Kane, Big Show, Kofi Kingston, Santino with just pure comic relief. The way he came power walking down that ramp was ridiculousness. Santino against the Core. Now, 8 bodies, you think, okay, let's get something going here. It was like a 10-minute match. I was shocked at how short it was. I'm like, you've got 8 guys here. I can understand if it was just the Kane and the Big Show, because normally the big guys, the matches don't last as long. But 8 of them, 8 guys, underused. Okay. You had the Rey Mysterio, Cody Rhodes match, which was actually pretty cool. Cody Rhodes had a nice little moment. He's like the skinniest man in WWE to me. And he had a moment with Rey Mysterio. He had him on the second rope standing, and he had Rey Mysterio in like the pile driver with, legs straight up in the air. And he actually held him in that position for like 2 minutes. Like, it was pretty impressive. And of course he slammed him. He won too. I wasn't expecting that. Cody Rhodes won. They started off the match with the World Championship, Edge against Del Rio, which I thought was weird they started off that way, but again, they didn't start it off with Money in the Bank. It's like a 10-minute match, which I also was shocked at. Del Rio and Edge can put together a great match. Give that match time to unfold and give the drama time to unfold. It seemed like they cut the match short so they can give Edge more time to bust up Del Rio's car, which is cool and all. And he could have went up there at the end with the crowbar and just slammed in the windows and made the match longer. I would have preferred a longer match between Edge and Del Rio. So that's my only thing. Edge retained his title. He's still a champ. I liked I liked the Randy Orton CM Punk match. I'm a fan of Punk. I'm a fan of both of them, but really I'm a fan of Punk a lot. Big fan of Punk. And I actually thought Punk was going to win. Just by the way the storyline was going, I thought Punk was going to win, but he didn't. Randy Orton pulled this one out. This is a good guy WrestleMania. A lot of good guys won. The finishing move was actually pretty sweet. CM Punk was jumping off of the top rope, and Randy Orton caught him in the RKO in midair, and he caught the RKO perfect in midair. It was really cool. And finished him. Won the match. It was cool. Um, all right. Now let's go ahead and start talk about this Snooki situation. Let's get this out there. If you haven't already heard, she surpassed all of my expectations. I will give credit where credit is due. I did not expect much. She, lapped them, just surpassed my expectations. She did a round off back handspring, landed it perfectly into like a body bump, and then she gave Michelle McCool, she did another round off into like a body splash, and she pinned Michelle McCool. Michelle McCool got pinned by Snooki at WrestleMania. The Undertaker's wife got pinned by Snooki at WrestleMania. That in itself is kind of a travesty. Yeah, that's so. Having said that, Snooki surpassed my expectations, but the fact that she was at WrestleMania, involved in WrestleMania at all, kind of made me shed a little tear. I didn't understand that, but since she was in it, she did good. Whatever. She looked slim. She did good. Good job, Snooki. I actually thought that Morrison and Dolph Ziggler would do most of the fighting in the match, but they didn't. It was mostly the girls, Trish and LayCool, and Snooki. Morrison had a moment where he did his finisher off the ropes to the outside of the ring onto Dolph Ziggler, and that was kind of cool. But again, Morrison, Ziggler, underused. They could have swooped all those guys up I named and put them in Money in the Bank match. Or my suggestion is, because there isn't a King of the Ring pay-per-view anymore, maybe you can have the King of the Ring tournament leading up to the WrestleMania and then have the final match at WrestleMania, or maybe the final 2 rounds at WrestleMania, so we can get 4 guys involved. Well, no. You just have to have the final match, because I would say make it no holds bar, falls count anywhere, just to get some hardware in there. So have the final match at WrestleMania, but still, you don't involve all those guys. All those guys playing off each other is just so sweet. And the Money in the Bank match is cool, but I'm telling you, there's something about WrestleMania that the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania match is better than the Money than the Money in the Bank match at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Something about WrestleMania, it's better at WrestleMania. So I don't know. Work on that, WWE. All right. I think I've talked about everyone. John Cena, The Miz. I actually wasn't looking forward to this match. The Rock interrupted like I thought he would. There was the moment where John Cena speared The Miz off the barricade onto the outside, onto the concrete, which was pretty cool. It busted both of them up to the point where they both got counted out. The Rock came out, restarted the match, said, "Oh, hell no, it's WrestleMania," and then he rock bottomed Cena, and The Miz pinned him. All right. After all that, and then he talked for a bunch. He talked a bunch before, and then, like I said, Edge taking up all that time with the car. It just seems like they could have cut a little of that short and gave me some Money in the Bank. Let me mention real quick that Hornswoggle spoke. Snoop Dogg was there. They were looking for some rappers, and of course he did it when nobody was around except for the Bella Twins, and he rapped. I've never heard him speak. I don't know if he's ever spoke before, but he spoke at WrestleMania, so that was kind of cool. All right, Undertaker, Triple H. They were building this sucker up to be big, and you know what? It stuck out in my head. This was a great match to me. Other than the Taker, Shawn Michaels, the first one, I've been watching, wrestling for like a lot of years. I'm not going to say how many. But from the WrestleManias that I've seen, for me, like I said, the Triple H or the Taker, Shawn Michaels won for me. I don't know if anything tops that, but this comes close. This was really, really good. I mean, it was so hard-hitting and aggressive and violent. From beginning to end, they came out with a bang, started with a bang. I didn't think they were going to be able to keep up that pace throughout the whole match, but they did. First, Spanish announce table, gone. Taker used Triple H's body to destroy that. Then Triple H used Taker's body to destroy our announce table. Then Taker speared Triple H and demolished the coal mine. I mean, it just... the coal mine collapsed. It was great. Every single move, trademark move you could think of from these two men, they delivered. The old school tombstones, choke slams, pedigrees, knees, everything, several times. I mean, like I said, this was a violent, hard-hitting. Undertaker flying off the top rope, landed on his shoulder and stuff. Triple H caught his face, but he kind of landed kind of rough. There was a couple he gave the spine buster. Triple H gave him the spine buster into the announce table. I thought he kind of hurt his back up a little bit. Both of them got busted up in this match. Let me tell you, it was hard hitting. For a wrestling match, it was hard hitting. Okay, let me try to break down this end here because it's, I don't know why. I apologize for the flickering light. I don't know what's going on there. Try to break down this ending here. So, Undertaker gives Triple H a last ride and a tombstone. Triple H kicks out. They're, struggling to get to their feet. Triple H, within the struggling to get to their feet, gives Undertaker about 3 pedigrees. Then he gives him a series of chair shots on the back, just, going off. Then he gives him a chair shot to the head. Bow. Then he gives him a tombstone. All this Triple H doing to Taker. Triple H gives Taker tombstone, crosses Undertaker's hands, whips back the hair, tongue out and everything, going for the 1, 2, 3, but up. Undertaker, of course, kicks out the last minute. So Triple H loses it. He's like, why won't you die? This finally drives him to get Trusty Sledgehammer, which is all I was waiting for. Because at this point in the match, they had done everything. They had done everything several times. So at this point, all that was left was the sledgehammer. He gets it out. Get ready to use the sledgehammer. Slips up. Gets caught in the Hell's Gate. Now, I thought that the Undertaker was just going to choke him out. I did not think that Triple H would actually tap out to the Taker. That's giving it up. That's a lot of respect if you think about it. Because it is wrestling. It's, it is fake. He's not actually choking him out. So for him to tap out instead of, the whole arm lift thing and being counted out or Undertaker choking him out, submitting him, I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool he gave it up to him. Triple H actually tapped out. So, and by that point, just standing ovation. Standing ovation. Great match. Great match. So all in all, I thought WrestleMania was pretty good. Ladies. Except for the fact they gotta do something about the hardware, man. I thought they were gonna do something to replace the excitement that the Money in the Bank match brings to WrestleMania, but they didn't. I was not pleased with that. I was not pleased. Ladies, make your own money, sign your own checks.